It's time to go back. Back to the year 2010. President William Henry Harrison died in 30 days. Yellowstone erupted and destroyed half of the United States. And TV's Doogie Howser was enjoying its 300th episode. That's right, it's time to look at How to Train Your Dragon, the original Hideous Zippleback. Going backwards, here is the Zippleback in his package as he would appear on store shelves in 2010. You can tell he's really trying to escape this box. It was purchased on eBay with hook fang. A pretty good deal for this Zippleback, could run anywhere from $20 to $100 on eBay. You have to be a little patient and keep watching. On the back of the box we get a neat little bio of the dragon and the greatest action feature for the Zippleback, the zip-up necks and tails for aerodynamic flight, so looking forward to playing with that. And of course this blank box of the How to Train Your Dragon video game. So here we are out of the package, and for the life of me I really don't know how the best way to sit this guy down would be. I've got his heads laying down on the table here with his tail propping him up. You can kind of do a little twisty thing where he sits like this if you really bend him up almost into his attack wheel stance, but really difficult. You can see he's got two short arms up front, no articulation, and his back legs are tucked in, so there's not much going on for posing this guy really well other than getting some fishing line and hanging him. Other than that though, pretty fantastic looking Zippleback toy here. We've got the two-headed dragon going with the Hideous Zippleback, Barf and Belch, or Belch and Barf, whatever you prefer. We've got two kind of stumpy wings on this guy, which we had to assemble. They were apart in the package, so they're just posts fitting into his shoulders here, and they weren't too hard to install. And then we've got his tail here that is bending in all sorts of great directions. Really wild dragon toy here. Great action feature. These original 2010 dragons had a little bit different approach than some of the newer stuff where it always seems to be a projectile, but here we've got the famous zipping ability of the tail and neck, and it takes you a little time to actually get these to fold in. They do it. If you sit by a warm fire and drink some hot chocolate, you'll be able to achieve that. Here's a quick look at the necks zipped together. Feels like these right here zipped together really well, whereas these didn't zip as easily. It just takes some practice to get him to fit together, but still pretty fun to do. Looking a little closer at the two heads here, each one seems to have a little bit of good personality to it. This head here with a little more buggy eye, and this eye a little more half shut. So that's kind of a neat feature. We've got these cool horns on their noses and coming up spiky like soft, but looking good. As for the short wing design, when you watch this guy in the movie and shows, it's usually a beautiful, colorful pattern of everything going on, and can't really do that with a toy and keep him cost effective, so it's just kind of a light lime green with a brown overcoat of paint. I should add that there does appear to be a wire in each of the necks and tails. You can tell by the little pinholes here, but it's really hard to get them to do much other than a sharp bend here and there. Plastic's really thick, so it kind of prevents a lot of motion, and again you get it in the tails here, and so you can kind of get the tails nice and straight, or you kind of bend them apart. Pretty wild though, really nicely detailed. You get a little step above the detail than we do with the Defenders of Berk and the How to Train Your Dragon 2 dragons. A quick comparison with the dragons Defenders of Berk, Belch, and Barf. You can see that each dragon kind of has their own thing going for. I think this one definitely has a lot more playability to it. Easier to stand, looks pretty cool overall, has a pretty neat action feature. It might be a little brighter green than this one here, but they both lack that brilliant, pretty color of a Zippleback. This one has this cool zip-up feature again that I kind of find fun and different, but again, this one just so much easier to play with. Of course, then we have the Great Wheel Dragon from How to Train Your Dragon 2, and this guy is just all sorts of weird and talk about special features, so this is probably the most max of weird special features, and this guy would be kind of in the middle of the three Belch and Barfs I have just shown. And here he is with Hook Fang from 2010. They definitely capture the dragon's personality a little more from the movies with these guys. They actually feel a little more like the rendered animated versions instead of a toy, but they're a little more difficult in the posing and standing and displaying on a shelf. Definitely more hang with a fishing line above your desk type of toy. So that is the Hideous Zippleback from 2010. A pretty interesting How to Train Your Dragon toy indeed. If you're a big time collector and do not already have this guy, I guess I would recommend him. If not, I would stick with maybe one of the newer Belch and Barfs, as they're a little easier to stand. He does have some pretty funny character to him though, so I'm going to enjoy him quite a bit. And perhaps we will return to the year 2010 again someday soon. That's what I have to say about that.
Thanks for watching Squirrel Stampede.
Hello there, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Hello, nice to meet you. And well, nice to meet you too. Well, hey, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Okay, how about some name tags? Maybe next time. Okay, whatever. Bye-bye.